from all around your lawn. I'm here to tell you how football is strong. We're the best.
And welcome back. And of course, we have got one big round of footy on this afternoon before finals action gets underway next Saturday afternoon. And the very first game to look at is the Anarchy Roos at Footrot Flats. They take on the Coria Devils. And Dale, whilst there's no big changes going on in the final five, as we say, every year they pray for a bit of pride in this last round, don't they?
Yeah, I suppose if Anarchy are going to finish sixth, they say whether they want to finish, and it's a time to put up a good performance to finish the season on a winning note. Because I think it'll be disappointing not only for obviously the Giz boys who are now gone, but obviously for the club to lose the last 3 or 4 games. So, not an easy task against Coria because they're playing some pretty good footy at the moment, and I expect this to go right down the wire. I wouldn't be surprised to see Coria get up and win.
Jason, Anarchy or Coria?
I think the Devils too, actually. They're playing pretty good football. Okay. I think if they can keep the core of their young boys out there for next year, Mark McDowell's done a pretty reasonable job with them this year, so I reckon the Devils might win.
Bang, 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 bang. It's all out at the Gun Club again. At that magnificent club rooms out there. Have you seen the club rooms out there? They are the biggest club rooms in local football. I reckon they're bigger than the Great Southern Stand at the MCG. But out at the Gun Club, Winchelsea played their last game for 2011, and they're up against the neighbours, Inverleigh Hawks. I'll start with you, Jace. I would think Inverleigh Hawks would be too good.
You would think right, I suspect.
Thank you.
Just tuning up for the finals next week, and I think, it's been a long, hard season for the Blues. I think even though they're at home at the beautiful $1 million facility, I think the Hawks might be too strong.
Dale.
Yeah, no, I tend to agree. I think Inverleigh are going along pretty nice at the moment, and I suppose only the question will be to see whether Ansell comes back into their side in the next week or so. But he's one bloke that I suppose is going to be a bonus to them if he can get back, but looked pretty ordinary against wherever when he went off.
Yep.
So I imagine that Inverleigh will win comfortably.
At the Thompson Thunderdome, those magnificent Tommy Tigers, we started off the year saying that Thompson are going to struggle this year, but here they are. They're about to launch into another finals campaign, but of course they've got to get over the Geelong West Sporting Club this afternoon. Mathematically, we know that Anarchy can take their place, but one would think that they'll have no trouble beating Geelong West, though.
Yeah, no trouble at all, Dick, in winning this game of football, and they'll secure their another finals performance or another finals in this season. So it's going to be a good effort by them. As I said, start of the year, I don't think any of us would have picked that they would have finished in that position, especially with the form of some of the other sides over recent weeks. But I would think they'll win the game pretty easily.
And Jason, you would think that Geelong West will now finish the season without a win, unfortunately.
They will, and toss-up between Paul Nigro and Christian Holland for Coach of the Year, because I think they've done magnificent jobs with their clubs this year, especially Christian with... Settle down, Cogsy. Especially Christian with such a young team making the finals is a pretty good effort. Yeah,
good call, Jason. I don't often agree with you, but I think that's a great call indeed.
God. Record that for later.
Hey, Croggy. And the North Geelong Oval, I should say the Keith Barclay Oval.
I thought Billy had left.
The Keith Barclay Oval, it's the North Geelong Magpies. They take on the Belpost Hill Panthers, and the way the North Geelong Magpies are going, one might think that this could be absolutely a slaughter, Dale.
Yes, I called in to have a look at the girls play netball on the weekend. Just hadn't seen them all year and had the day off. And I watched the first quarter of this game, and Belpost Hill kicked 10 goals. And just look at their very best, mate.
They don't kick 10 goals in netball.
I was watching the football.
We watched the football. Sorry, Dale. I didn't digress.
So I just lobbed up over the hill. And I just had a bit of a look. But they were pretty impressive out there on the weekend, and I would think they're just fine-tuning themselves for finals football, and I think North Geelong are going to copy a pretty severe hiding out there, Dick.
Jace.
Belpost Hill.
Okay.
North Geelong were deplorable after half-time. I don't know where they went to. They went to sleep, they stopped, they just didn't see... the only person that was really having a crack in the last half was Luke Parker. They had nobody else. They switched him up forward, he kicked a couple of goals, but Briggy went off. They didn't have much structure in the middle, and I was just really disappointed the way they finished the game. So Panthers for me.
Yeah, they were very disappointing indeed. I hope North Geelong may look at this as a grand final for them this afternoon and play accordingly and finish the season off at least on a high note that they've had a real good crack. Out at the Victoria Park footy ground, a special guest, very, very special ground, the Victoria Park there. Bannockburn Tigers take on East Geelong, and a couple of years ago this probably would have been one of the big matches of the day. Is that the 94.7 match of the day, is it?
It is.
It is. That's all right, because, see, the floor manager has got match of the days being Werribee Centrals and Belmont Lions, because he's a little bit excited about it all now.
Mistake.
So, big mistake there. It's okay. So, the Bannockburn Tigers and the East Geelong Footy Club, 94.7 match of the day. As I said, once upon a time, this was a big game, but unfortunately, Bannockburn are having all sorts of strife, and should be just a training run for East Geelong, Dale.
I would think so, Dick. I said that was Belpost Hill versus Bannockburn on the weekend, and that was 2 versus about 8, I think, on the ladder at the present time, and this is 1 versus 8. So I don't think their fortunes are going to change all that much. I just would like to see them be a little bit more competitive. They were asked by their coach to play a bit of man-on-man football and just allow Belpo still to play their normal game and be able to run around and find space. Now, if they do the same thing against East Geelong, the mess that they made last week will be even worse this week. So I think East Geelong will win the game.
No problem with East Geelong, Jace?
No, I think the Eagles will just be fine-tuning for next week. So
I think so.
The Eagles.
Yep, just getting there. Everything, all little ducks in a row, as they say in the classics. Up at the Duck Pond, speaking of ducks, the Werribee Central's footy club, they take on the rampaging Belmont Lions, and they're going for, don't adjust your sets, folks, 7 in a row. And I got a feeling that it will all stop today.
Yeah, look, the guys, as I said, I saw Werribee a couple of weeks ago, and while they beat North Geelong, they were pretty disappointing the way they went about their football, but they've obviously turned things around last week against Thompson at home. I think their benefit is that they do play that ground fairly well. It'll be interesting to see now when they walk away from that and go next week and play Thompson at St Albans. It'll be a really different game altogether. But I think, look, Belmont Lions, you've got to give them an opportunity or a chance in this game because they've played some pretty good, consistent football over the last 6 or 7 weeks. They've kicked winning scores in most of the games they've lost too, so that's a real bonus for them. This is going to be a great contest, but I think at home you'd have to go for the Ducks.
And I'll tell you what, Jason, Belmont Lions do happen to beat Werribee Central. I think everyone will be saying the same thing. Thank goodness they haven't made the finals.
Well, they won't want to give Werribee 6 goals head start, I can guarantee you that, because I don't think Werribee Centrals will fall over like North Geelong did last Saturday. So they're certainly going to have to be in the game up until half-time. Werribee at home always tough. Yeah, I mean, I'd give them a show, but I think Werribee Centrals will possibly be too strong. But yeah, I agree. Look out the Belmont Lions. If they can keep the core that they've got this year and add, a couple of big guys and maybe another on ball, they're going to be around about the mark next year.
The bonus for Werribee has been their starting. They have been able to start games pretty well, and they've kicked 7 or 8 goals very quickly in games, and then they've fallen away. They need to be able to sustain it for 4 quarters, but that's where Belmont can either change the game or maybe be with them at quarter time. They'll give themselves a real chance.
I saw the fabulous Freddie Logan for the first time on Saturday too.
Introduce yourself.
Bit of a gun. Introduce myself. You've never heard of me, but that's okay.
It's funny about that.
That's all right. I actually enjoyed the hospitality. It was their big sponsors day at the Winter Resort last Saturday.
Did you sponsor it?
No.
You just walked your way in.
I just worked my way in, yeah. And had a fantastic afternoon. And hospitality, as per normal at the Belmont Lions Footy Club, it's number 1 in local football. Now, we've got finals next week, folks, because we finish the show off. The elimination final will be next Sunday at St Albans Park, and the qualifying final will be next Saturday at St Albans Park as well. We'll have netball and, of course, under-18s. It'll be on for young and old, and boy, we're looking forward to that. Nothing like finals footy to get us all excited because we've gone through 18 rounds, and I know that's gone really quick, and we're looking forward to finals action next week, so it'll be fantastic. Now, I've got to mention the Cheerio. It's Rosemary's. I better say, she's going to kill me, but my lovely wife Rosemary actually turns the big 6-0.
Oh, he's mentioned it.
I know. Well,
you're in trouble.
I mean, she does know, so I mean, a few other people probably know. So, happy birthday, darling. I know it'll be a great. No, that's all right. It's not till Monday, but I'm taking her up to. We're going up to Sydney on Monday, and we're going to have a very quiet little time up there. And I might go out on the harbour. So watch out for the tide levels in Geelong.
So how long are you going for?
Tsunami.
No. We're going up until about Thursday. So we're hopefully back in time for next Saturday morning show.
We guarantee you won't be.
So we'll see what happens there. But happy birthday, darling. 60 years of age, unbelievable. You're a magnificent looking woman for your age, I've got to tell you. Just like me, we've held our age very, very well, haven't we?
You're holding something.
That's all for this week's show. Well, it's been a funny old show. We're back to front. We don't know what we're doing at the moment. But thanks for your company. Enjoy yourself on footy. Have a great afternoon. We'll see you again next week. Bye for now.
Let's get into it all until the final siren.